Now, in an effort not to get fat, I decided to build a DIY machine for cardio.
Yeah, hope you're all happy now.
Everybody knows the best machine for cardio known to man is the 45-degree back extension. Just kidding. I'm trying to fix my lower back pain that I've had for a number of years. And in order to do that, I decided to make a back extension machine because this guy told me I should. Now, I could go out and buy a $100, $120 back extension machine from Amazon, save my time, save my money, and be off to the races. But where would be the fun in that? So I'm gonna spend way too much money and spend way too much time designing and building out my own back extension. It's my decision, leave me alone. Now, if you didn't watch the last video, this is the second video in this build series, and you can watch me finish out the design and purchase the parts in this video. If you wanna watch somebody build something, wait for the third video or go watch a different channel, I don't care. Now, in the last video, I took you through the design of this 2-inch square tubing frame, the telescoping design, and how I wanted to design the foot placement on this 45-degree back extension. Now I need to draw up the pads, and I wasn't real sure what size to use. I referenced this Amazon cheap freaking chintzy back extension machine with a bunch of dimensions on it because that was really the best knowledge of a size of a pad that I could find, alongside looking at the Arsenal and some of the other back extensions that I reviewed in the last video. Now, based off of that, I knew I wanted a 2-inch foam pad inside of these pads or cushions. And I also, these freaking goats, shut up goats. Anyways, I didn't know how big to make the cushion. So based off of the Amazon dimensions, theirs is about 8.5 inches, and I have no clue how wide. I know the overall width is about 18 inches. So based off of what I could tell from the Arsenal strength one, it was a little bit wider and taller. So what I'm gonna do is make mine 10 inches deep, and then the width is going to allow for 2 inches between the two cushions. And I set this plate right here at an overall width of 20 inches. So that would put me about 9 inches on each of these pads. Now, to help confirm that this was the right width, I went ahead and measured my hips, and my hips don't lie, which measured about 18 inches wide. I decided that was good enough. So I made sure to incorporate the 2-inch gap in the middle, no specific reasons, I'm a guy, and the 9-inch wide pads. I made sure to break the edges on these with a radius just to make it look cool. Really, at the end of the day, that's all it is. Now, the 2-inch square tube that is gonna help support this plate for these cushions really looks crappy. Now my dogs can't catch a break around here. This 2-inch square tubing looked horrendous, just wide open. So I made these plates and put them on either side. You're gonna see I actually ended up incorporating that as the base for the handles later on, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, I did look through in my shop and found that I did have 1.75-inch pipe. Let's go find a tree I can set you up on. Nothing's really thin enough. Where should I go? Just walking around in my backyard, you know. My shop was about 150 freaking degrees right now, and so I really can't film in there. So I'm walking around on the back side of my property in 94 degrees, and it's still pretty freaking hot. It's not too shabby though. I really don't mind being back here. Nothing like being in the forest. Now that sun's gonna be all bright. Let's move into the shade. Okay, anyways, so I ended up having this 1 3/4 pipe on hand here, and putting my hand around it, it felt pretty good at that size. So instead of going with about 1 inch or a little over 1 inch in that outside diameter, similar to what a barbell or a dumbbell handle would be, I think the thicker ones will feel a little bit nicer and be super heavy freaking duty. This one was about 1/8 inch thick, and so it's gonna be solid. It just felt better. Now, I started off putting the handles pretty narrow to try to match what Arsenal Strength did on their cross member, but after measuring my hips, I decided to move them out a little bit and put them on those outside plates that I was covering that 2-inch square tubing. I think that's gonna work a little bit better, allow for my hips to not ever touch it when I'm cycling forward on the back extension machine, and we should be good. I did look at this heavy duty back extension machine that John Meadows, that's his name, was using here, and theirs was out quite a bit wider. So I tried to match the best I could where those handles ended up landing. Now that the model is finished here, This is really the final product. I'll add some stylistic edits to it, paint it up, cut out some pattern with my plasma cutter just to give it a little style. Let's go ahead and go through and order some parts. I'm gonna go to the ever cheap Amazon to order these, especially since when I went to my local welding specific supply store, I found that they went out of business 2 days ago. Gosh dang it. I guess this is what jokers like me get for not supporting local businesses. Go support your local business. Shame on you. I mean, me. So I took to Amazon and looked up some of these parts that I needed to get. Now the first one was the T-handle plunger that I found on that McMaster car inside of CAD. And as I was looking at the designs and what was available on Amazon, I found this twist lock, which is gonna be really cool. You don't have to pull away from the joint. All you have to do is twist it, and it looked really heavy duty. It was $22, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Plus, it had good reviews, and it's got this cool grease zerk. Like, if I can grease this, you know it's heavy duty. The next thing I needed to get was the foam padding, which ended up being a really hard thing to figure out what I needed. Now I did go to a couple different YouTube channels like Kaizen DIY and Buckminster Upholstery to try to figure out what upholstery worked best. And what I ended up finding was that rebonded foam seems to be the best for this type of application in workout equipment. Now I found this on Solomon Machine. I'll put a link below. His channel's pretty interesting and he makes some DIY workout equipment. Anyways, I knew I wanted some high density 2-inch thick foam padding to put under these. And so really this Foam Touch brand that I found right here was extra firm and that high density, and it was only $33 on Amazon. That was the most expensive part of this project, but seemed like a decent deal. So I went ahead and got it. Now the third piece of equipment or supplies that I needed for this is the vinyl fabric to go over that foam padding. The Buckminster Upholstery channel has a couple of pretty good videos where he redoes or makes workout equipment, benches and other upholstery. And he says that marine vinyl, thick marine vinyl is the best for this application, especially since you're gonna get sweat, water, all other marine vinyl. So I found this on Amazon. I really didn't know what I was looking for, but it was $21 for 1 yard. And so I went ahead and bought it. Didn't know what the best color was, and black seemed like a safe bet. So I did it. So after buying these 3 things off Amazon, I ended up spending $72, and I still have a lot of things to get. So it's not gonna be a cheap project by any means. The T-nut and the plywood, I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for a day after work and pick it up from Home Depot. I think that'll be the easiest. So now all I gotta do is wait for these supplies to come in, and then we can go ahead and start making this bad boy. The 2-inch square tubing that I designed most of this stuff with, it's sitting in my shop ready to go. So we'll get to fabricating here pretty soon. Peace.